Emyooga.
One of the best government intervention.
Meant to get Ugandans out of poverty.
How many people have paid back the money?
They really did not return their money.
Some people mismanaged their funds.
Leaders took much of the money.
Most of these people who are eating the money, they say they are cadres.
Some districts have not got any money.
A hit or a miss.
Emyooga has not died in Soroti City.
It has died at birth.
The Presidential Initiative on Wealth and Job Creation, Emyooga, was launched in August 2019 as part of the broad government strategy targeting to transform 68% of home states from subsistence to market-oriented production, with the overall objective of promoting job creation and improving household incomes. The initiative is centered on 18 enterprises locally known as Emyooga, and according to the government-owned Microfinance Support Center, was meant to cover the majority of the hitherto financially excluded Ugandans engaged in similar specialized enterprises. This project has, however, not been without challenges, with questions arising about corruption, poor management of SACCOs, and even ghost SACCOs. In this investigation, we get to the bottom of this. There is evidence of alternating names for the Emyooga funds costing the government millions of money, and several groups of beneficiaries registered out of forgery. Signatories like the LC1 and RDCs are also accused of asking prospective Emyooga recipients for kickbacks so as to recommend group members. Accessing the Emyooga funds requires having 1/3 of the savings for the money being requested for. Between the year 2020 and 2021, government disbursed 1.12 billion Uganda shillings, which was shared by 203 associations and 18 SACCOs in Soroti City's 2 divisions, with each division getting 560 million shillings. This was President Museveni's initiative to resurrect the disgruntled groups of people having been paralyzed by unprecedented impacts of COVID-19 that led the country and the entire economy to shut down. The story of Emyooga seems to have changed from grace to grass, as many of the groups now face tough times and having no hope in the president's visionary program. Over 300 members from 3 SACCOs in Soroti district have remained barehanded after fraudsters allegedly connived with bank officials to erroneously withdraw the money from their bank accounts and parted with 55 million shillings of their money meant for Emyooga. The groups include Gweri County Boda Boda SACCO, Gweri County Taxi Operators SACCO, and the Tailors. Swaibu Yaweri, the treasurer of Gweri Boda Boda SACCO, says they are now stranded with no money, having lost it to fraudsters.
Really, we got challenges in the Boda Boda as a SACCO. We remember we had 10 groups formed up the SACCO. But it happened that one person who was our secretary turned to forge our signatories, and he had a link with a bank where our account was, and able to withdraw all the money which was in the bank.
Soroti District Commercial Officer Joy Apolot is accused of conniving with a one Moses Okiring Ebaku to steal Emyooga funds worth 55 million shillings from Finance Trust Bank Soroti branch. The suspected fraudster, Moses Okiring Ebaku, who hails from Abelet Village, Onyamai Parish, Gweri Sub-County in Soroti District, withdrew money from 3 bank accounts on different dates. Bank statements from Finance Trust Bank indicate that the money was withdrawn on 14th, 15th, 17th, 21st, and 29th of May 2021, respectively.
I want to forward my request to the government. We as Boda Bodas, we are now losing because the man can't now pay us the money, but he's in prison. What can government do to those SACCOs if Okiring failed to do what? To pay the money, because we are losing. Again, we put in money, searching the man, looking for him. You have to buy, to sell what you have. Because RDC was on our neck, we lost 20 million as Boda Boda. But
although some members received this money, it was not used for its intended purpose. Joseph Elasu, a member of Gweri Boda Boda Sacco, received 1 million shillings. He tells us how he used this money.
What I received a little. I wanted more than that, but with the case of little what we have, I able to receive little money, whereby I cannot put in my business I wanted. So a little I have, they cannot manage to give me to make my business to run on. So I just I chew that money, I eat that money. To be sincere, I have not yet paid that money.
In Soroti City, members of the Persons Living with Disabilities group blame their leaders for mishandling the funds.
We have not realized any impact on Emyooga. Soroti City Persons with Disability Circle received the 30 million. When it received the 30 million, the executive decided to divide the money amongst themselves. They said the money was released to them during COVID. Now when it was released during COVID, they could not pick the money and use it. And they left the money in the bank. When COVID ended, when the lockdown was uplifted, they picked the money as executive and they divided. And yet in the initial process, it is supposed to be a revolving fund. During the time of returning the money, they really did not return the money. So other members languished out and they left the group. Because most of these people who are eating the money, they say they are cadres.
But we struggle about money. Even Emyooga, we not get Emyooga.
Now Emyooga has now changed and already brought the challenge to our families, because you have to sell what you have at home to facilitate the police and the armies.
A section of locals and area leaders say that such stories have discredited the program.
Some people mismanage the funds, and it's not good. One person to embezzle the funds.
It has become now a song. Because the money that they came, one person took the money. So meaning people are just like that.
The Auditor General, John Muwanga, in his 2021 audit report revealed discrepancies in the Emyooga program to a tune of 260 billion. Muwanga reports that 219.4 billion, which is 84% at the time of audit, had so far been disbursed to 6,326 Emyooga savings and credit cooperative organizations, SACCOs, that did not have licenses. He also noted that no MOUs had been entered between the disbursing entity and the beneficiary SACCOs. 34.7 billion shillings, though disbursed, remained unaccessed by the beneficiaries. The resident city and district commissioners of Soroti, however, claim there was no major challenge in the Emyooga program.
Emyooga, from inception, is one of the best government interventions. Remember, this is a presidential initiative. About 5 circles from Soroti have performed so well that they have been assessed, they have been audited and received additional funding of 20 million shillings each. That is Dakavela Fisheries Circle, the produce dealers, the women entrepreneurs, and the others.
All the 18 circles actually received the money, and out of 18 circles, only one circle has not used that money. Other circles, of course, that have received the money, like for journalists, many of them have scattered, and there is a challenge of the fund. Emyooga has not died in Soroti City. Emyooga is still on, just like in any government program. Of course, there's a new baby that is called PDM that is trying to overshadow Emyooga, because then we are more active on PDM, more giving it more time, because the new baby, it has to be nurtured quickly and properly based on the guidelines. So Emyooga is still on, and there are successful Emyooga circles in Soroti. The people who are involved in Emyooga activities, those who have borrowed money, who are members of circles, who have borrowed money and properly utilized it, have greatly improved on their livelihoods.
In Soroti City, there is no group, whether PWDs or not PWDs, that is progressing on Emyooga. So I wonder, is it a way of just releasing the money and it disappears when there are other benefits or when there are other consideration priorities to be considered? Or it is just a way of government releasing money to its cadres?
They, however, admit that there was rushed sensitization, which they blame for the current problems.
They are not inducted, they are not made to understand exactly what they were supposed to do. So this brought a very big challenge, whereby the leaders, most of them took up this as an opportunity to have the money. One, they were not sure they were going to pay, because you remember there are some government programs that people could pick their money and don't pay.
From April 2022, we realized that there was laxity in constant engagement of the association that form up the circle, but also the management of these circles.
There's no circle in Soroti City that has not got money from government. All the Emyooga circles received money. The challenge of COVID, many of the circles activities were closed. For example, performing artists, they closed their activities because of COVID.
Timing was very poor. It came at a time of politics, and time memorial, you know, government has always brought in programs during that time as a political maybe strategy to move the hearts of the people.
I imagine how parish development model will be if Emyooga failed to perform. Are we first getting the other recoveries of Emyooga into parish development model, or we again releasing too much money into parish development model without realizing the impact and having an output and results of Emyooga?
Joan Alobo, the woman member of parliament for Soroti City, associates the failure to politics and stresses that the case will not be any different with the ongoing parish development model.
This is a project that government came up with, which died at birth. It's challenging, it's hurting that government comes up with very good poverty eradication programs, but allows it to die at the onset. Currently, money was released to some districts, but some districts have not got any money. And Soroti, I have not yet seen anybody who is celebrating the beauty and the purpose of Emyooga in this city. That is why you see many of us, the MPs, have resolved to doing what Emyooga and parish development model is meant to do. We have gone ahead, personally I have gone ahead to meet groups, give them an entandikwa, give them what to start with, top up with their whatever they have saved. I have given out pigs, I have given out goats, I have given out very many more projects have been given out by me, not because we want, not because I want, but because the government programs have died. Emyooga parish development model is nowhere to be talked about. And even as the MPs, we do not have any information as to where the Prime Minister has reached with this project and government. But it has died at birth. The parish development model came, the MPs were not informed. They went straight to the NRM leaders in the constituency, the parish chiefs, and yet these are a source of corruption in all these government projects, even government administration. My appeal is, when we have government programs coming, can the MPs take lead?
But because of those initial gaps, we have not seen a lot of impact. Very few beneficiaries can testify that this man has supported them. But the majority, money was misused during the political season.
There is nowhere in the world where people give money to somebody out there to develop. Okay? If you go to countries like China, they look at your business acumen, what you can put on the business table if they are going to assist you. Now, by lifting your business, you employ other people. If they gave the money to the other people would eat it. They don't have the business acumen. So you don't just go distributing money to people. They are going to eat the money. And that's what happened with the previous one. What was this one, just before the election? Emyooga. That's how many people have paid back the money. Because you're giving somebody money who has no financial literacy, who has not laid down a program of what they are going to do with the money. Now, elsewhere, they will at least sit you down in a class and teach you how to multiply the money. That does not guarantee 100% success, but at least it shows that, okay, we are going to give you money. However, when you get this money, here is what you can do, okay, to make sure that that money becomes profitable for you, and then you can get back, you know, the principal which you borrowed, and other people borrow off the same amount of money. There is no teaching. The parish model is going to be the same thing. They're going to be distributing to people who, they'll just get their money and walk straight to a pub.
Daniel Lutaya, News 24/7.